Hi there. So here we are, Odd Thomas, chapter 22. When we left Stormy and Odd, Bob Robertson had escaped from the church after he had trashed it. And the chief had some officers looking for him, but Odd had decided to drive around and see if his supernatural magnetism worked, and he was able to find him. So they had just pulled up to the bowling alley. We're sitting in the parking lot. So that's where we start. Chapter 22. The bowling center parking lot was two-thirds full. I circled, searching for Robertson's Explorer, but I couldn't find it. Finally, I parked and switched off the engine. Stormy opened the passenger door, and I said, "Wait! Don't make me call you Mulder," she warned. Staring at the green and blue neon letters that spelled out Green Moon Lanes, I hoped to get a sense of whether the slaughter I had foreseen was imminent or still some distance in the future. The neon field failed to speak to my sixth sense. The architect for the bowling center had designed it with a responsible awareness of the of the expense involved in air conditioning a large building in the Mojave. The squat structure, which featured low ceilings inside, thwarted heat transfer by using a minimum of glass. Pale beige stucco walls reflected the sun during the day and cooled quickly with the coming of night. In the past, this building had not seemed ominous. Its character impressed me only because of the efficiency of design, for it had the clean lines and the plain facade of most modern buildings in the desert. Now it reminded me of a munitions bunker, and I sensed that a tremendous explosion might soon occur within its walls. Munitions bunker, crematorium, tomb. The employees here wear black slacks and blue cotton shirts with white collars, I told Stormy. So? In my dream, the victims all wear tan slacks and green polo shirts. Still in her seat, but with one leg out of the Mustang, one foot on the blacktop, she said, "Then this isn't the place. There's some other reason you cruised here. It's safe to go inside, see if we can figure out why we're here." "Over at Fiesta Bowl," I said, referring to the only other bowling center in Pico Mundo and surrounding environs. "They wear gray slacks and black shirts with their names stitched in white on the breast pockets." "Then your dreams must be about something that's going to happen outside Pico Mundo. That's never been the case before." "I have lived my entire life in this relative peace of Pico Mundo and the territory immediately encircling it. I have not even seen the farther reaches of Maravilla County, in which our town is the county seat. If I were to live to be 80, which is unlikely and which is a prospect that I view with despondency, if not despair, I might one day venture into the open countryside and even as far as one of the smaller towns in the county. But perhaps not. I don't desire a change of scenery or exotic experiences. My heart yearns for familiarity, stability, the comfort of home, and my sanity depends upon it. In a city the size of Los Angeles, with so many people crammed atop one another, violence occurs daily, hourly. The number of bloody encounters in a single year might be greater than those in the entire history of Pico Mundo. The aggressive whirl of Los Angeles traffic produces death as surely as a bakery produces muffins. Earthquakes, apartment house fires, terrorist incidents. I can only imagine how many lingering dead people haunt the streets of that metropolis, or any other. In such a place, with so many of the deceased turning to me for justice or consolation, or just for silent companionship, I would no doubt quickly seek escape in autism or suicide. Not yet either dead or autistic, however, I had to face the challenge of Green Moon Lanes. "All right," I said, able to summon resignation if not bravado. "Let's go in and have a look around." With nightfall, the blacktop pavement returned to the heat that it had borrowed from the sun during the day, and with the heat came a faint, tarry smell. So low and large that it seemed to be falling toward us, the moon had risen in the east, a dire yellow countenance, the vague cratered sockets of its timeless blind gaze. Perhaps because Granny Sugars had been seriously superstitious about yellow moons and believed that they were an omen of bad cards and poker, I surrendered to an irrational urge to escape from the sight of the leprous and jaundiced celestial face. Taking Stormy's hand, I hurried her toward the front doors of the bowling center. Bowling is one of the oldest sports in the world, and in one form or another was played as early as 5200 BC. In the United States alone, over 130,000 lanes await action in more than 7,000 bowling centers. Total annual bowling revenues in America are approaching $5 billion. With the hope of clarifying my recurring dream and understanding the meaning of it, I had researched bowling. I knew 1,000 facts about the subject, none of them particularly interesting. I also rented shoes and played 8 or 10 games. I am no good at the sport. Watching me play, Stormy had once said that if I were to become a regular bowler, I would spend far more time in the gutter than would the average alcoholic hobo. Over 60 million people in the United States go bowling at least once each year. 9 million of them are diehards who belong to bowling leagues and regularly compete in amateur tournaments. When Stormy and I entered Green Moon Lanes that Tuesday night, a significant percentage of those millions were rolling balls down polished lanes toward more spares than splits, but more splits than strikes. They were laughing, cheering one another, eating nachos, eating chili cheese fries, drinking beer, and having such a good time that it was difficult to imagine death choosing this place to harvest a sudden crop of souls. Difficult, but not impossible. I must have been pale because Stormy said, "Are you all right?" "Yeah, okay, I'm good." The low thunder of rolling balls and the clatter of 10 pins had never previously struck me as a fearsome sound, but this irregular series of rumbles and crashes strummed my nerves. "What now?" Stormy asked. "Good question. No answer." "You want to just wander around, scope the scene, see if you get any bad vibes?" I nodded. "Yeah, scope the scene. Bad vibes." We didn't wander far before I saw something that made my mouth go dry. Oh my God. The guy behind the shoe rental counter had not come to work in the usual black slacks and blue cotton shirt with white collar. He wore tan slacks and a green polo shirt, like the dead people in my bowling dream. Stormy turned, surveying the busy room, and pointed towards 2 additional employees. "They've all gotten new uniforms." Like every nightmare, this one of mine was vivid and yet not rich in detail, more surreal than real, not specific as to place or time or circumstances. The faces of the murder victims were twisted in agony, distorted by terror and shadow and strange light, and when I woke, I could never describe them well. Except for one young woman. She would be shot in the chest and throat, but her face would remain remarkably untouched by violence. She would have shaggy blonde hair, green eyes, and a small beauty mark on her upper lip, near the left corner of her mouth. As Stormy and I proceeded further into Green Moon Lanes, I saw the blonde from the dream. She stood behind the bar, drawing draft beer from one of the taps. That's it, chapter 22. So, join us next time for chapter 23. We're about a little less than half through with the book, and I'm really enjoying it. So, see you next time.